When you really love somebody, they're always a part of you. There's a presence that they have, even when you move on and maybe you never wind up together, but they are a part of you. And this wasn't about Ben and I think because of the trauma that we had kind of both went through when we broke up 3 days before our wedding, 20 years ago, he wanted to assure me like that would never happen again. And so he created this phrase, and I told everybody we need to write a song called Not Going Anywhere. And so we did. We wrote the record, and it's one of my actual favorites on the record.
Jennifer Lopez is destroyed after her second breakup with Ben Affleck, and now their $68 million mansion is for sale. Lopez wasn't a fan of the house, and it felt like their lives just didn't click from the start. But here's the kicker. Jennifer Lynn Affleck, a distant relative with the same exact name, is suddenly grabbing attention. Her comments about Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez blew up the internet. This weird coincidence just adds more drama to their breakup story. Before we continue, did you know 91.7% of our viewers haven't subscribed? Subscribe now. Thanks. So, Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck are together. After getting back together almost 20 years, and after their first triad relationship ended badly, they've broken up for good. What was supposed to be their happy ending just turned into another heartbreak. And with that old interview, where Affleck seemed pretty indifferent about relationships, it's not really a shocker. News about Bennifer 2.0 hitting the brakes came out in August 2024. Lopez reportedly filed for divorce on the second anniversary of their Georgia wedding, saying irreconcilable differences were the main issue. She also reportedly dropped the Affleck from her name right away. Rumor has it, she tried really hard to make it work, but it might have been a doomed marriage from the start. Page 6 says, the trouble began during their honeymoon in Italy, where Affleck got fed up with paparazzi following them. They barely talked during what was supposed to be the happiest time of their lives. He convinced her he was a changed man, but that didn't last long, a source said. Their close friends say the real problem is that they're total opposites and were never a good match. She's very public and social, while he's more of an introvert who's happy staying at home, an insider told People. Plus, Affleck is said to have mood swings that create tension for Lopez and everyone around him. But given Affleck's history, those mood swings might just be a reason to bail. Affleck admitted he's not great at communicating, and it seems like that hasn't improved. The Ben Affleck Jennifer Lopez fell for in the 2000s, and the one she hoped had changed, seems like not much has changed after all. With news of Bennifer 2.0 split making headlines, an old 1999 Playboy interview with Affleck came back up, and it might explain why this marriage failed too, back then. Right after his fame from Good Will Hunting and Armageddon, Affleck got honest about his poor track record with relationships. He openly admitted he was usually the problem, saying most of his exes were pissed off at him for avoiding conflict and finding sneaky ways to end things. I think what happens is, I end up wanting out of the relationship, he said. Instead of talking about issues, he'd just go along until he couldn't take it anymore. Then I'd create some drama, or just stop calling and then she's mad. I can't really blame her since I'd built up such passive-aggressive anger that I'd end up saying, well, of course I didn't call. If you weren't such a nag, I'd call you, he added. But hopefully I'm growing out of that. And now history has repeated itself with Bennifer 2.0. This time, Lopez was the one to call it quits. She was done waiting, a source told People. It seems Affleck's hope of growing out of those old habits didn't really happen after all. Moreover, Jennifer Lopez was never really into the Beverly Hills mansion she shared with Ben Affleck. A source told People, the $68 million mansion was Ben's idea and a big compromise for her. The source says about the couple's marital home, which they bought for $60.8 million in May 2023, and put up for sale just over a year later in July 2024 for about $6 million more. She agreed to it because it had plenty of space for both their families, a gym, a pickleball, court, office space, and 2 private entrances. The source adds, Affleck 52 has 3 kids, Violet 18, Serafina 15, and Samuel 12, with his ex-wife Jennifer Garner, while Lopez, 55, has twins Max and Emma, 16, with her ex-husband Mark Anthony. The contemporary-style home had space for everyone, with 12 bedrooms and 24 bathrooms spread over 38,000 square feet. Fact. However, Lopez's taste usually isn't ultra-modern, the source says. She loves the romantic Spanish-European style. A second source disagrees, saying that Affleck wasn't a fan, wasn't fully into the house either, and that its location wasn't ideal for him. His life's in Brentwood, his kids live there. The source says it was such a hassle and time-consuming for Ben to deal with traffic from their house. He never liked it. The same source notes that the house Affleck rented this summer after moving out of their shared home was in Brentwood. The Atlas actress has been searching for a new home in Los Angeles since April, around the same time as the separation date, filing with Affleck. Jen is looking at houses, the source says, but hasn't found the right one yet. People reported in June that Lopez and Affleck were quietly shopping their shared mansion off-market, a common move in high-end real estate. Eventually, they chose to list the home publicly the next month. Affleck has since bought a new house for himself in June for $20.5 million. The 5-bedroom property is family-friendly, but could easily be turned into a bachelor pad. A source previously told People, the neighborhood, which has many entertainment industry A-listers, boasts a sophisticated crowd. It's not trendy, according to the source. With that, it's an interesting time to be Jennifer Lynn Affleck. The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives star, 25, tells people that her married name has always drawn attention, but it's been even more noticeable recently, after the news of her husband Zach's cousin Ben Affleck divorcing Jennifer Lopez. Speaking with People about the Hulu series before its September 6 premiere, Jen says it's always been interesting being Jennifer Affleck, joking that she's the original. Especially because my name is not only Jen, but Jennifer Lynn Affleck, which is exactly the same as J.Lo. She went from Jennifer Lynn Lopez to Jennifer Lynn Affleck, which is so crazy. She explains, referring to how the singer took Affleck's last name when they got married in 2022. People are really curious and wondering how we're related, and it's so funny. Regarding the Good Will Hunting actor and the family connection, Jennifer says, "He's my husband's cousin, but we've never met him. Zach is Ben's first cousin once removed. His dad, Dave Affleck, is Ben and Casey Affleck's first cousin. Zach's dad has met them when Ben was very little," she adds. "I'm hoping to meet him one day too." During the show's premiere, Jennifer further discussed her connection with the Affleck, telling People that Ben and his brother Casey are more like distant relatives. That being said, she'd love to hear their thoughts on the Hulu series. "Hopefully they'll tune in and we can do a meet and greet," she adds. "They can tell me how the show will end." Jennifer has no problem poking fun at the family connection, as shown in a recent TikTok. In the clip, the mum of two gets her hair done at castmate Jessie Ngatakara's salon, while jamming out to Jennifer Lopez's hit song, Jenny from the Block. Jennifer first mentioned Zach's connection to the Gone Girl star on TikTok in September 2022, just after Ben and J.Lo got married in Vegas, and she took the actor's last name. "When you thought you were going to be the next J.Lo, but instead, she stole your name, and you're busting it down to Miss Rachel," the TikToker wrote, alongside a video of her dancing to Wheels on the bus. Let's talk a bit about the past. I came across some really interesting facts. Jennifer Lopez experienced love at first sight with Ben Affleck. Jennifer Lopez fell for Ben Affleck right away, saying that something inside her changed when she met him. They first met in 2002, while filming Jiggly, when J.Lo was still married to Chris Judd, but their chemistry was clear both on and off the screen. And it wasn't long before she and Judd ended their marriage, and J.Lo and Affleck went public with their relationship. "I felt like, okay, this is it," the singer remembered. With the rise of relentless paparazzi and tabloid coverage, the couple faced non-stop media attention, and soon, from glamorous red carpet events to Affleck's memorable role in her Jenny from the Block music video, everyone was obsessed with their romance. Affleck and Lopez announced their whirlwind engagement not long after Bennifer first made headlines in the summer of 2002. Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez decided to get married. Just months after their romance hit the tabloids, they got engaged in a whirlwind move. The singer shared the news in a November interview with Diane revealing Sawyer that the Air star proposed with a pink diamond solitaire worth around $2.5 million at the time. Lopez initially told Sawyer she thought Affleck was just another Hollywood bad boy, or skirt chaser as she put it. But he ended up proving her wrong. She described him as brilliantly smart, loving, charming, and affectionate, and added, "I just admire him in every way." Affleck said his strong friendship with Lopez set the stage for their deep connection. In a 2003 Vanity Fair interview, he explained that since she was married at the time, their relationship started without any pressure to impress each other, which allowed them to be themselves. A media circus led to the end of Bennifer. The media frenzy around Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck's every move seemed to lead to their first breakup. Although they planned to marry in the fall of 2003, they decided to postpone due to the intense tabloid attention. In a statement to people at the time, the couple said, "When we found ourselves seriously considering hiring 3 separate decoy brides at different locations, we realized something was wrong. We felt what should have been a joyful and sacred day could be ruined for us, our families, and our friends." Their relationship only seemed to get worse after that, as they broke up in January 2004. In a 2022 interview with Apple Music via The On the Floor, singer said their split was due to a lack of maturity, admitting, "We weren't ready to face the fact that what we had was real, that we needed to commit and do some work. We just weren't there yet." Although J.Lo tried to stay strong for the world, she was struggling inside. In another interview with J.Lo for Apple Music, she called the breakup one of the hardest things she'd ever experienced, saying, "It was the biggest heartbreak of my life. I honestly felt like I was going to die. It sent me into a spiral for the next 18 years. Where I just couldn't get it right." Affleck and Lopez ended up marrying other people after their fairy tale wedding fell apart. Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck each found love with other people. Unfortunately, for Lopez, Affleck's new partner had the same name as his ex-fiancée. The actor began dating his former co-star, Jennifer Garner, in 2004, and they got married in 2005. Garner and Affleck went on to have 3 children, Violet and Serafina, and son Samuel. As for the shotgun wedding star, she married her longtime music partner, Marc Anthony, in 2004, in a much more low-key ceremony at her Los Angeles home compared to her planned wedding with J.Lo. Lopez, and Anthony had fraternal twins, Emmy and Max, in 2008, and she also became a stepmother to his 4 children from previous relationships. But those marriages didn't work out. Both Jennifer Lopez's and Ben Affleck's subsequent relationships didn't work out, giving hope to Bennifer fans. Affleck and Jennifer Garner announced their plans to divorce in 2015, but stayed on good terms and continued to co-parent their 3 kids. They finalized their divorce 3 years later, in 2018. Affleck speaks highly of Garner, telling The Hollywood Reporter, "People in 2020, when you have children with someone, you're connected forever. I'm very lucky. She's the mother of my children, and I'm very grateful and respectful of her."
The truth was, we took our time, we made the decision, we didn't want to show, we grew apart, we had a marriage that didn't work. This happened. I was trapped. I was like, I can't leave because of my kids, but I'm not happy. What do I do? And what I did was drink a bottle of scotch and fall asleep on the couch, which turned out not to be the solution. We did it amicably. We did our best. Did we have moments of tension? Did we have disagreements over the custody? Was stuff difficult for us? Did we get angry? Yes. But fundamentally, it was always underpinned with a respect. We tried because we had kids. And then both of us felt like we don't want this to be the model that our kids see of marriage. My responsibility to my children is the highest responsibility I have. So I didn't do anything that's painful or destructive to them if I can help it. That being said, I know that my life affects them.
Marc Anthony and Lopez's breakup became public in 2011, with Anthony filing for divorce a year later, citing irreconcilable differences as the reason their divorce was finalized in 2014. But they stayed collaborators in the music industry and maintained a good relationship afterward, even sharing a kiss on stage 2 years later. Anthony joked to Extra TV about their post-divorce relationship. "If you want to get along with a woman, just get divorced." They kept it cordial and supportive through the years following their split. Even though Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck's relationship fell apart under media pressure in the early 2000s, they still had a mutual respect that never faded. The Boston actor praised Lopez's performance in the 2019 film Hustlers, telling New York Times journalist Brooks Barnes that he hoped she'd get an Oscar nomination for her role. Affleck said, "She should have been nominated. She's the real thing," and added, "I keep in touch with her periodically and have a lot of respect for her. How awesome is it that she had her biggest hit movie at 50? That's effing baller. Thank you for your time. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It means a lot to us. We promise even better content. See you soon.